So today I will be talking to you about email security and what to do and not to do to keep everything more secure. I'm Cheyenne Baker and I'm a DSU computer science major. Today I chose to go over general tips for keeping emails more secure, and then I'll go over more in depth about phishing emails, of what to look out for and how to deal with them, and then I'll finish off by talking about spam. So, general tips. Some general to-dos when trying to keep your email safe is to follow the suggested password tips, which we will go over later in the presentation, and then log out when you are done with your email and install antivirus software and keep it updated is a really big one to keep any of your devices secure, whether it's dealing with emails or anything else. Some do nots, like things you don't want to do, are to open attachments from people you don't know, to reply to spam or forward chain emails, and then sharing personal information by email, whether it's like bank information or credit card data. Just sharing any of that personal stuff is generally a big no-no because emails aren't that secure. So next is phishing emails, what they are and how you can deal with them. So phishing is the practice of sending emails or any other kind of message to other people to try and gain personal information from that person. So phishing can happen through email, text messages, or any other option that you can receive and send messages in. Some common goals of phishing include gaining your money and credit card information, and then gaining access and or control of your device. And then they'll also try to get your personal accounts or other information like your passwords or social security number. So they're trying to just gain access or information of anything and everything they can for their own goals. So how do you get attacked? So phishing is usually done through official looking emails. These emails look official, like they're coming from an actual company, but they aren't, and there's a few things you can look out for so you can tell when it's fake. Phishing emails will generally include a link or attachment, and you'll be asked to click on these links or attachments, and then it will um, either take you somewhere and ask for your personal information, or it can even install malware onto your device, which opened either of these things. So some signs of a phishing message is threats, like saying an account of yours may be shut down if you don't do this. There's also grammar. So grammar in phishing emails may be fairly poor. So if there's a lot of grammar mistakes, that may be a sign of phishing email, unless it's from a friend and it's totally casual. Others are keywords like urgent, being stressed a lot, trying to get you to do something sooner rather than later. And then also information. Being asked for your personal information is a big red flag because companies generally won't use email to ask for such things. So if an email is asking for something like your social security number or password, then that's a good sign that it's a phishing email. Um, Phishing emails may also use generic greetings like hello dear instead of your actual name, like most companies you're part of will do. So if that happens, that's another flag. And then spelling. Making sure the sending address isn't misspelled is a big one because phishing emails may have a lot of spelling errors. So some examples would be this one, and it got a little cut off, but it does show that it looks very official. So the only really big thing about this one was that there's a .exe file attached, and they wanted you to click on it. So the thing is, .exe files are ones that will run something on your device, and you won't really be able to stop it. And it's just a very Not really. No one would really send that to you. So that's a big, big red flag. Even though everything else looks fine, that was a big red flag, and they knew it was phishing because of that. But if you ever receive an email and you're not sure if it's official or not, you can always call and double check with any company or post office that supposedly sent you the email just to make sure that it actually came from them. And then my other example is this one, which supposedly is a receipt from Apple. But if you look here, the sending address is basically just letters and numbers, a bunch of gibberish, and then access subscription is misspelled. And that's a big red flag because an official company would be more aware of such things and they would fix them. The person who received this email actually opened this PDF right here, this attachment, and it opened up to this receipt. And so far it looks fine, like there's nothing really wrong with this yet. And then it continues over to this side where it asks for your name, date of birth, phone, and address, which is pretty common stuff. But then it asks for your social security number, and that's a big red flag. And if anything asks for your social security number, you should stop because it's very weird, especially if you're working through email. So again, just always call the company, make sure it's from them. But this was phishing because the spelling errors and this social security number request. So how to protect your devices. You can use security software on your computer. A big one is Norton, but there's also a lot of other software out there that you can get, and it will help keep everything safe. For your phone, you can set the software to update automatically, and that'll just keep things fresh and more secure. And then using multi-factor authentication for your more private accounts, and then backing up your data, whether it's on USB drives or hard copies, is a good way to make sure you have all the information you need if something does go wrong. So if you find a phishing email, you can either report the email or you can just straight up delete it without doing anything else. Either of those are good options. If you happen to click on a link or an attachment, you should close out of whatever opened and then first update your security software and then run a scan to make sure no damage had been done to your device. And finally, spam. How to deal with spam. So first, spam is junk email that's sent in bulk to anyone and everyone. There's no really rhyme or reason. It's just kind of annoying emails that you didn't ask for. And how to deal with it would be to set up filters to push such spam emails into a different part of your email. So it's not in your inbox anymore. It's just in another corner that you don't have to deal with, like the trash or junk or something like that. And then one thing you don't want to do when dealing with spam would be to click the unsubscribe button that may be at the bottom of an email like that. And it's important not to click that because if you do, you'll be letting whoever sent you the email know that this is an official email and they can target you. So don't click that unsubscribe button. Just set up a filter and move it to a different part of your email and you won't have to deal with it anymore. So that's all I have for you. I hope these email safety tips helped you and you learned a bit more about phishing or spam and how to deal with things like that.